Technology has produced all sorts of new opportunities for people who want to be publicly accessible. And they give them an opportunity of creating content and getting it out there. People should have the right to leverage technology to demand a presence. They should have a right to be in public. And technology that helps them scale is extremely beneficial. The problem is that it's algorithmically difficult to differentiate between publicly accessible data that is meant to be widely publicized and that which is simply meant to be accessible. It's hard to distinguish between content that people want to be aggregated because they'll gain something from it, and that which was never meant for any such thing. It's hard to distinguish between PII that is shared for social purposes, and that which is shared as a self-branding exercise. All of these are things we have to account for. It goes back to our methodological conundrum, right? Not all data are created equal, and it's really hard to make a reasonable assessment and reasonable interpretations from 30,000 feet without understanding the context in which data is produced and shared. Treating data arbitrarily as bytes is bound to get everybody into trouble. So we're stuck with this question that we all have to be part of working out. And the balance is, are we going to hurt people unexpectedly? And do we err on the side of protecting them, or do we err on the side of helping them be public? It's a really interesting challenge. And with this in mind, let's talk about my favorite Facebook. When Facebook first launched in 2004, it started as a niche social network site that was only accessible to those privileged enough to have a Harvard.edu account and eventually other .edu accounts. As it spread, it built its reputation on being a closed system. People trusted the service because they felt it provided boundaries and helped people navigate social norms. As it grew, it was interpreted by the public as the anti-MySpace. While MySpace was all about publicly accessible content, even as people were actively seeking privacy, Facebook was narrated as closed, intimate, a more genuine place for friends. And I roamed about the United States interviewing teenagers. I was continuously told that Facebook was safer because it was more private. And that's why they loved the site. Now, first impressions matter. People go to great lengths to twist any new information that they may hear, but to actually reinterpret it in light of their first impression, rather than altering their first impression. And to this day, many of the average Facebook users that I talk to still believe that Facebook is about privacy. They believe that they understand how information flows on privacy, and they believe they understand the tools that allow them to control what's going on. Unfortunately, their confidence obscures the fact that most don't understand what's going on.